3, 2, 1, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was gonna draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us yet again here on Next Gen Racing Productions. Sunday morning IndyCar action. You know what it is. The Sunday Hangover Indycar League here at Texas Motor Speedway for race number 9. It is a double points race for these IndyCar Series drivers. So, big season implications here during this race. Looks like we've got a few drivers out there already. The 24 of Rick Kelball, he has hit the track. The 07 of David Zaleski, Howard Livingston, Chad Pierce, Rick Lovison, Danny J, Will Stearns, Scott Kirchner, Mike West. A ton of drivers out there on track early here in this qualifying session. So drivers wasting no time trying to get out there and snatch that provisional pole away. Gonna watch here as Rick crosses the line for the first time. He will slot in first, now knocked down to third by David Zaleski, who is now on top of the board. Rick Lovison in the 64 is in fifth. Mike West in fourth, now down to fifth. David Zaleski still holding on to that provisional pole. Howard Livingston yet to put his lap down just as of now. Jeff Murray, Graham Bunyan. Oh, and a big moment there for Rick Kelball through the grass. We'll jump back with another driver now. This is the 306 of Will Stearns. He was able to put down his first time lap. Only slots himself into seventh. We'll have to see if he picks it up on this second lap here. Looks like Robert Mitchell in the 31 as well as Will Zoller in the 67 have went out on track just now beginning their laps. And Will not able to really pick up too much time, only able to slot into the sixth spot. We will join now the 31 of Robert Mitchell as he is on his up-to-speed lap sporting the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League paint scheme. And real quick, okay, it's back. I'm going to have to take care of something here in just one tiny moment, but Robert Mitchell on screen on his first timed lap. Where will he slot in? Right next to that wall. He's going to come across the line this time. Where's he shake out? Looks like 12th. He's got a big gain to make up if he's going to want to get that pole. Your race being brought to you today by St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Help a good cause, help a good fight. If you can, there you see the link right there on your screen. Go over, donate anything you can helps. Even if it's just a few pennies. And Robert Mitchell to the top of the board. Will Zoller also out on track. Ben Wallace in the 99 is out on track as well. And just as qualifying comes to an end, sorry folks, I had a little technical issue I had to work out and take care of to be able to continue. But, oh my goodness. Ryan Bowles with a good job in qualifying as well, running in the 25. We will now get down on track, bring you your grid show for today's 115 lap race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Starting row number 1, pole position, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Starting outside row number 1, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. Starting in third today, the 99 of Ben Wallace, followed in fourth by the 13 of Howard Livingston. Starting row number 3, the 25 of Ryan Bowles in the 004 of Jason Lowe. Row number 4, the 6 of Jeff Murray in the 07 of David Zaleski. Row number 5, the 64 of Rick Lovison, followed by the 306 of Will Stearns. Starting in 11th position today, the 19 of Chad Pierce, followed in 12th by the 15 of Danny J. 13th goes to the 00 of Scott Kirchner, while Rick Kelball in the 24 finds himself in 14th. Row number 8, the 10 of Mike West, followed by the 67 of Will Zoller, and that is going to round out your field here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. These drivers still have Kansas next week. Then it's on to Texas for an open setup race before we get to the big daddy of them all, the season finale at Indianapolis. That's going to be an absolute barn burner to watch. That's going to be great, in my opinion. And this man right here, Graham Bunyan, sitting on top of the point standings. He is leading this field to green. And he is looking to not only take the pole today, but try to put another win in his bag. Already 4 wins on the season for Graham Bunyan. So he is a man on a mission, trying to take the championship and put it behind him as quickly as possible. 115 laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sunday Hangover Indycar League drivers. We are set to kick this thing off. Pace car lights are out. Field is double file. We will get set to go here. Oh man. This is going to be absolutely great. Waiting for the lights to change. Flag drops and we are green flag racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League Series. Drivers today down into turn 1 the first time at full speed. Looks like Rick Kelball is a man on the move as well. Falling back a little bit actually now is Kelball. Up front, Robert Mitchell back to third. Ben Wallace up to second. Battle for fourth between Ryan Bowles, Jason Lowe. There you see it just behind Robert Mitchell. Trying to keep an eye on everybody as everybody is still all grouped together. Back in the back, starting to get a little bit spread out. Battle now for first. Ben Wallace on the outside wants to take it from Graham Bunyan on the inside. Jason Lowe back in the fourth slot, running that bottom lane just behind Robert Mitchell. They're going to slot in. Ben Wallace follows suit, grabs that second position for a second, rips that nose back out to the outside for the run. Looks like he's going to have some company in a moment as Ryan Bowles with a great run on the outside coming down the backstretch. Robert Mitchell still slotted in third. Here comes Bowles side by side with Jason Lowe. Lap number 3 in the books. Bunyan still leading this thing, but Wallace wants it in 1. side by side through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Bunyan able to pull the distance just a little bit now, has about a car lead over that 99 of Wallace, who has been running that high side. Robert Mitchell stuck in the 3rd position. He now joins the outside lane for a moment, tucks back in behind Bunyan on the bottom lane. Jason Lowe thinking about looking outside of Robert Mitchell. 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, side by side down the backstretch, back into turns 3 and 4. Bunyan still at the lead. Mitchell up the track just a little bit. He comes back down once again. Howard Livingston, Ryan Bowles back there battling for 5th and 6th. Rest of the field kind of sorting itself out. Single file looks like going on from about 8th on back. Fuel mileage or tire wear was a concern. These drivers are not showing any of that right now. Everybody's still hard on the throttle as we are working lap 7 out of 115 here today, and Ben Wallace still running that outside lane, keeping the clean air on that nose cone as much as he can. That front wing needs the air, needs the downforce in these corners. Cars do tend to get fairly tight when you get that air on the front. Robert Mitchell got to be careful about following too closely off of 2. And it looks like Mitchell back to 3rd, Lowe to 4th. They have been able to step away just so slightly over this 25 of Ryan Bowles, who has got Howard Livingston all on his rear gearbox as well. A little 3-car battle back here for 5th, 6th, and 7th between Bowles, Livingston, and Murray. But still battling up front, these 2 drivers, since the drop of the green flag, basically have been battling out for the lead. Graham Bunyan now leading lap number 9 for him as we start lap number 10 here today. Ben Wallace has been out there on that outside. Robert Mitchell now looking to run that high side as well. See if that helps his cause. But he has got nowhere to go. Ben Wallace fast up there on the outside. Graham Bunyan just as fast on the inside. A little bit of a moving traffic jam, if you will, even with a run for Mitchell. He's not going to be able to take it very far. While the track is kind of clogged up and we've got some battles going back even further in the field. I will mention them, want to stay up here with your leaders though. Will Stearns, Rick Kelball, Danny J. That is an epic battle going on. That is for the 10th position. Rick Lovison, he's got it. They all want it. Now your top 3, Bunyan, Wallace, Mitchell. They are starting to step away from the rest of the field. Small gap beginning to develop back to the 4th place. 004 of Jason Lowe. He's got Ryan Bowles right on his heels. Half second back to the 13 of Howard Livingston. Scott Kirchner right there. Jeff Murray as well. 1.5 seconds back till you get to Will Zoller in the 67, who's got Rick Lovison and Will Stearns all over his gearbox as well. Robert Mitchell able to take the position utilizing that bottom lane. We're going to go ahead, see if we can't jump on board one good time here as Mitchell makes a lap around this fast Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here we go. WickedStreams on board camera for you here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mitchell work the throttle just a little bit, get a look back from his spoiler above the gearbox here at Ben Wallace, just lurking in the background. He is not happy. Here he comes with a big run to the outside. Will he be able to make the pass? Doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to stay up in that high lane. Looking back through the field, that battle for 10th place has not ended just yet. Danny J in the 15 right there. Rick Kelball, Will Zoller. They're all fighting it out, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Battle now side by side for Robert Mitchell and Jason Lowe, as Lowe starting to emerge as a front runner here today as well. 18 laps already in the books out of the 115 slated here today. But you have also got to remember there is a green light checkered, so things could get mixed up at the end. Big points implications as your race leader, the 101 of Grand Bunyan, has led this thing since the inception. And he has not looked back now. Almost a 0.8 of a second lead over second place, Ben Wallace. Robert Mitchell still hot on his trails, but Jason Lowe is right there as well. Just a little bit behind them, you will find the 25 of Ryan Bowles here on screen now. He is in a pretty comfortable position. The people that are battling now, 6th, 7th, 8th. This is Livingston, Murray, Kirchner, all right there with each other, working themselves down the backstretch. Then you go back 9th spot. This is the 67 of Will Zoller. Rick Kelball right behind him as well. Danny J coming off the corner now. Rick Lovison, Will Stearns just behind them. Mike West a little bit further back in the field. The 07 of David Zaleski also still out there running clean in his all-black machine. And Chad Pierce, 2 laps down from an incident that I did not see at any point in time. So we're going to have to check into that just a little bit later, see what we can figure out and find out on that. Battle on track, though, is right here. 3rd position, 31 of Robert Mitchell and the 004 of Jason Lowe. Today's race being brought to you by St. Jude's Children's Research Center. Research Hospital. Do apologize. Sorry. Things roll off the top of my tongue sometimes and they're not always worded correctly. But nonetheless, great foundation organization. If you can, you see it up there on screen. Go on, click on the website links. Donate anything you possibly can. Everything helps. I tell you what, that is a great look at that 31 machine of Robert Mitchell as he's trying to work his way back up to the 2nd position by Ben Wallace. Great run down the back stretch for Mitchell, but he's not going to have anywhere to go, any way to use it. Field beginning to stretch itself out now. Closest battle on track would be right here. This is for 6th and 7th, the 13 of Howard Livingston and the 6 of Jeff Murray. Pit stops may be looming soon as we are 27 laps into this green flag run. Not quite sure what the fuel mileage really is on these cars at this particular track. I would venture to say somewhere around the 40 laps or so, but I I could be wrong. Battle. Howard Livingston trying to keep the position. Jeff Murray to the bottom. He's going to make the pass. Slot the 6 up into the 6th position, and he is going to ride off away from Howard Livingston now, already opening up a half a second lead. Scott Kuchner and Will Zoller, they're right there with each other. They're going to be right on that rear bumper. Well, there is no bumper on the back of these Indy cars, but right there on the gearbox of that 13 of Howard Livingston, if he doesn't pick the pace back up. Battle for second hasn't really changed yet, although big moment here now is Mitchell with a great run off of 4, looking to the inside of Wallace. Back into turn 1, still looking to the inside. He's got the air on the front of that car. Not able to get it just yet. Ben Wallace maintains second. Brief, close battle there for Mitchell and Wallace as Mitchell is up the track. No contact with the wall, but Mitchell way up the track that time in 1 and 2. 31 laps into this 115 lap race here today for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you want to get out here and mix it up like the drivers you see right now, well, iRacing is the place to be. All tracks and cars scanned to laser precision. Real as it gets without spending real time money. The man of the hour, this gentleman right here on your screen, Graham Bunyan, picking him up, laying him down, 2.2 seconds ahead of the field. He is your points leader coming into today's double point race, and this could all but seal the deal. If Bunyan's able to walk away with a race win, he will get double the points and extend an already pretty generous lead over the second place runner of Robert Mitchell. And that is why you see Mitchell back here in the 3rd spot, fighting so hard to get up there, to gain every position as he's running the real high line now into 1 and 2, trying to keep the momentum up and save what little bit of tires he may still have on that thing, as he is up the track in 3 and 4 as well. He is going to, Ben Wallace may have scraped the wall just a little bit right there. My goodness, we'll have to keep an eye on this battle here now from the front wing of Robert Mitchell, as he is lurking right here behind the 99 of Ben Wallace. Looks like Wallace is going to go to pit road possibly this time by. He made some slight contact, so he's going to go ahead and hit pit road lap 36. We'll keep that in the memory banks. Is this around the fuel mileage time that these drivers are going to start stopping? We'll keep an eye on the pit delta as well. Your race leader, Graham Bunyan, still out on track, has not elected to come to pit road just as of yet, so our few drivers trying to pull the undercut. We'll have to wait and see how it shakes out. Danny J already on pit road and back off. Ben Wallace on and off pit road as well. Will Stearns in the 306 on and off pit road. Howard Livingston hitting pit road this time by. Pit delta seems to be right at the 33-second mark. So Graham Bunyan has a little bit of an uphill battle if he's going to want to put enough distance to go in and come back out. Still in the 1st spot. He is doing a good job right now. However, a 3.3 second lead. He has got no problems, no issues up here, up front, doing his thing. And why not ride around with with him one good time around the track as we see the gearbox cam once again here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And let's see if we can't throw up one of our other ones. Here you go. The gyro cam just above the driver's helmet, giving you a feel for the banking and the speed that these drivers carry into the corner. Ben Wallace on and off pit road. As I stated, Jason Lowe now hitting pit road. He is being scored the first car, 1 lap down. As you see drivers coming off of pit road now, that is the 24 of Rick Kelball. That has been put down a second lap now by your race leader, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. As you see him just absolutely wearing that 5th gear out, not shifting to 6th. He's staying right there in 5th. A little blip of the throttle as he works his way through the center of 1 and 2, down the backstretch, not shifting again, entering high, feathering off the throttle just slightly, letting the fresh tires of the 24 of Kelball go back by. He'll get in the slipstream and stay right with them, though. Great job right now by your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Let's see, as any of the other top drivers decided to pit. And yes, the 25 of Ryan Bowles, he is hitting pit road this time by. Different fuel strategies coming into play here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is a double points race. And it looks like we have another driver hitting pit road in the background. That was the 6 of Jeff Murray. He is now on pit road. That is going to leave us right now 7 cars on the lead lap. But David Zaleski, he is in trouble. He is hitting pit road this time. And he was close to being lapped by the man hitting pit road just behind him, Graham Bunyan. Robert Mitchell hitting pit road as well. Will Zoller electing to stay out on track himself, and I believe that may be Mike West that decided to stay out on track as well. Mike about half a lap or so back behind Will Zoller, who is now leading the race for the first time, 45 laps into this green flag run, and he's going to stay out yet another lap. Man, just behind him, Ben Wallace in the 99. He is the car 1 lap down, first car 1 lap down. He now unlaps himself to put himself into the 3rd position in the 004 of Jason Lowe. He finds himself running just behind your race leader prior to the green flag pit stops, Graham Bunyan. He is being shown the first car 1 lap down just behind your race leader, Will Zoller, who has decided to stay out yet another lap. Will he hit pit road this time by? He is running low on the track. Looks like he will bring the pit road this time by. Mike West also on pit road, so that is going to give the race lead to this man right here. The big undercut for Ben Wallace, and he clears Graham Bunyan by a little more than 5 seconds now, as we are slowly picking him up, laying him down. Gonna scroll the last lap ticker, so it's gonna change, kind of show you the speeds for lap to lap from these Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers. Ben Wallace, an amazing job on and off of pit road. 8.4 seconds in his box, 33.3 second stop overall. Ooh. We'll see whose pit crew shined this time through these pit stops, and there you see it right there. Ben Wallace with the greatest gain on and off pit road. So great job by him and his crew getting the job done here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He now enjoys a 4.5 second race lead over your former leader, Graham Bunyan, in the 101. Who has got the 004 of Jason Lowe all over his gearbox. And just behind him, Jeff Murray as well. Robert Mitchell has dropped a few spots through that green flag pit stop. No real issues, just a little bit longer on pit lane. His pit stop was a little bit slower as well. Gave up some time there, and it has made itself critical out there on track, dropping at least 2 positions as Mitchell back to 5th. Still showing you the battle between Graham Bunyan and Jason Lowe. This battle for 2nd and 3rd position. 4th, the 6 of Jeff Murray right behind them should one of them make a mistake. And while these drivers are battling, they are catching the man right now sitting in the lead, Ben Wallace. Ben would need a great finish here today, a race win, and then some great finishes and possibly a win or 2 in the last 3 races in order to try to come back up and battle for the season championship with Graham Bunyan. Graham sitting in a good spot in 2nd. Although not a race win, he's still going to come out with some great points should he finish on the podium here today. But Jason Lowe, Robert Mitchell now back up to 4th. Those 2 drivers trying to push Bunyan out of the podium position as he continues to chase down the 99 of Ben Wallace, still leading your race off of turn 4. Back to the line yet again. Lap 55 underway, 54 in the books out of 115 here today for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers. And it has been an absolute just barn burner. No huge gaps between the field right now. About a half a second is your biggest gap. Jason Lowe just behind Graham Bunyan right here as well. Robert Mitchell now starting to bring himself back up through the field. A few drivers are being scored a handful of laps down, so we'll go ahead run through some cleanup for you as we find you a good battle to watch here between the 6 of Jeff Murray and the 25 of Ryan Bowles. 16 drivers took to the grid here today for the double points race. Race number 9 out of 12 for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar League. 16 drivers took to the grid. All 16 still out running on the track. 12 make that 11 cars left on the lead lap. First car 1 lap down, the 64 of Rick Lovison. Then you have Will Stearns, David Zaleski, and Mike West also 1 lap down. Chad Pierce with some tough breaks, tough luck here today at Las Vegas. He finds himself sitting in the 16th spot, 3 laps down. Up at the front, race lead is slowly dissipating for this man. The 99 of Ben Wallace did pit about 10 laps prior to the rest of the field, and Graham Bunyan is slowly walking him down. Lead now under 3 seconds. Jason Lowe falling back just a little bit to a 1.5 second deficit behind Bunyan. Robert Mitchell back about a total of 3 seconds from Jason Lowe. So your top 3 have a pretty decent cushion. But what will this do for Ben Wallace? Is he running the race backwards? Will he be able to stop one more time and take this thing to victory lane? Or will fuel strategy come back to haunt him? Could somebody maybe stretch this thing if they were to stop in the next 5 to 10 laps? Could they stop then and make it to the end? I believe so. We've seen Will Zoller go for 47 laps. So the fuel window about to open up as Ben Wallace putting the 64 of Rick Lovison down a lap. I believe that was Rick Lovison. That may not have been. That may be. Yes, it was Rick Lovison in the 64 being put down one lap. And out in front of your race leader, Ben Wallace, he's going to have Danny J in the 15 machine coming up soon that he's going to have to deal with as well. Lead now to just under 2.5 seconds. So lap after lap as they click off, Graham Bunyan is starting to make gains. And Jason Lowe, he is starting to fade away just a little bit. Jason stopped 3 laps after Ben Wallace. So Robert Mitchell and Graham Bunyan, those two drivers do have the fresher tires. But there are fresher tires behind them as well. Mike West, he's got only 16 laps on his tires. 3 laps fresher than anybody else on the track, but he finds himself back in the 15th spot, 1 lap down, and we've got drivers hitting pit road again. And that is Danny J hitting pit road. So he's going to find himself yielding yet another lap here today in the double points race. Next week's race, just a regular old race. Then we go to Texas for an open setup race. That is going to be interesting. Drivers going to be able to get their crew chief hats on and see what they can do. Tweak the machine to get every bit of speed and performance out of it. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out for us in 2 weeks when we get to Texas. In the season finale, the last Triple Crown race of the season, unfortunately, no driver is going to be able to qualify for the extra 20 points for winning all Triple Crown races. So we got that out of the way, but it would have been nice to see maybe a season champion win the race and win the Triple Crown all at the same time. 3 wins in one day. That would be amazing to see, but nonetheless, we're still going to see some amazing racing action when we hit Indy here in about 3 more weeks. Ben Wallace still your race leader. His lead has now diminished from 4.5 seconds down to 1.5 seconds. There you see Graham Bunyan just off in the background. Robert Mitchell making up a ton of ground as well on the 004 of Jason Lowe. Rest of the field kind of distanced out just a little bit. Other closest battle on track is right here. That is between the 00 of Scott Kutchner, who is in 7th, and the 67 of Will Zoller, who is trying to come up through the field after staying on track for a handful of laps longer than the rest of the field. So his tires are one of the freshest on track, and it is starting to pay dividends for him. However, that 1.5 second gap between first and second has kind of stabilized, has stayed right there, now down to 1.3 seconds. So Graham Bunyan clicked off a ton of that time early in this green flag run, and it has now started to slow down ever so slightly. Pit window is almost open. Still battling for that 7th position. Kutchner has it. Zoller wants it. Zoller still maintaining down the backstretch without any issues, but we're going to get a little bit closer to the front of the field now as Robert Mitchell is starting to close the distance on this man on screen right here in the Naked Clown Machine. The 004 of Jason Lowe right behind the 306 of Will Stearns. Will being shown 1 lap down here as they run 72 laps into this green flag run. We have been green since the start of the race, all the way through one green pit flag cycle. Pit flag cycle. Pit stop cycle. Green flag. Okay, stop, pause, rewind, record. Wow, that was horrible. As we worked our way through one green flag pit cycle, still maintaining green flag positions, green flag running, Ben Wallace has been able to keep the lead for now under just under 1 second. So we're going to join that battle as it gets closer. Ooh, speaking of getting closer and closer, Graham Bunyan extremely close to that wall out of turn 4, almost into it. That could have spelled disaster for him. Ben Wallace not wishing misfortune upon anybody, but may not have been too mad to look up in the rear view and see that 101 into the outside wall and slow. Just behind these drivers, Jason Lowe, Robert Mitchell, that battle starting to heat up and intensify just ever so slightly. Graham Bunyan now just over 0.7 of a second behind your race leader, the 99 of Ben Wallace, who has pretty much led this thing since the green flag pit stops. Bunyan led the first segment, so to speak, before the pit stops. Ben Wallace, the second segment. After this set of green flag pit stops, what will happen? These drivers will be able to make it to the end. So look for drivers to start hitting pit road here soon. Because if it's me, I'm seeing that Ben Wallace made up a ton of time pitting when he did, pitting those 10 laps sooner, and was able to, and Graham Bunyan on pit road. So Graham may have been listening, somebody on the team may have been listening to the broadcast, and he went ahead and hit pit road. He can make it from here on fuel. That should, if Ben Wallace, your race leader, this man right here, if he stays on track too many more laps, he's going to have some issues on his hand, as he is going to give up a ton of time. He is on the brakes and coming to pit road this time. Jason Lowe, what will he do? He is through 3 and 4. He is going to stay out on track. Robert Mitchell also already onto pit road. Things are going to get a little shooken up here with the way this set of green flag pit stops is starting to shake out as Graham Bunyan makes his way back up onto the track. He is being shown the first car 1 lap down. Jason Lowe staying on track yet again, 40 laps into his green flag run. A few other drivers out there. Jeff Murray, Will Zoller, 37 laps, 32 laps on his tires. So different fuel strategy and tire strategies taking their course, playing out here today for the race number 9 out of 12, a double points race. And Jason Lowe on the apron, down pit road. Jeff Murray in the 6th now to the point. This will be the second time, or I apologize, the first time for Jeff. I thought under green flag pit stops the last time he was able to stay out and snatch a lap lead here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. However, I was wrong. It's happened a few times, you know. But usually it's when I think I'm wrong. No. Anyways, the 6 of Jeff Murray back down into turns number 1 and 2, hugging that white line. From my experience in these cars, gotta be careful about clipping that white line just a little bit too much, as it can send the rear of the car to the front very, very quickly. And Graham Bunyan just in front of Ben Wallace, right here behind your race leader when he pits. This is going to end up being the battle for the race lead, so we're going to keep our eye on this as Wallace follows Bunyan to the outside around Jeff Murray. They unlap themselves the hard way. Looks like Murray may be hitting pit road this time by. He is. Graham Bunyan now stealing the point away from Ben Wallace. Should we have a caution, though, that will still change the dynamics of the end of this race. 85 laps into this 115 race. And man, it has been green since the word go. Now Ben Wallace looking to the outside of Bunyan. They are side by side through 1 and 2. Still side by side as they come off of turn number 2. Wallace looking for a crossover. Back out to the outside. Wow. Great battle taking place up here up front. Jason Lowe is being shown just behind Ben Wallace for what will end up eventually being the third place on track as Jeff Murray making his way back off of pit road. He has lost a lot of time and a lot of ground. He is 1 lap down. The last car being scored 1 lap down. Running in the 10th position as of right now. Only 4 cars on the lead lap. Will Zoller is being shown as your race leader in the 67. He has yet to hit pit lane. He just did so now. That's going to drop him back through the field. And David Zaleski will assume the race lead if he doesn't hit pit road this time by. Looks like he is going to actually stay out on track, I believe. So Zaleski will eventually be scored with leading a lap here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But these two, once the cycle completes itself, will be battling it out for the top spot. Bunyan on the bottom, Wallace at the top. Wallace right on that gearbox coming through the front stretch. And they are going to have, I believe, I'm trying to think of who that is. Lap car coming into factor here. Bunyan goes low, Wallace goes low. David Zaleski hit pit road, so that is going to give the race lead to this man right here, battling with Ben Wallace. First and second on track here. Big season implications, double points on the line. Wallace on the bottom. Can he get the job done? Down the backstretch, side by side, going into turn 3. Bunyan with the advantage on the outside, but the preferred lane goes to Wallace. Can he stick the nose out there and make the pass? Not yet. Bunyan fires back on the outside. Bunyan at the line being scored still as your race leader, trying to make it high, wide, and handsome out there in this Indy car. Can he keep the momentum built up? Still side by side with Wallace, back down the backstretch to turn 3 yet again. Lap 92 coming to 93 here today, and Wallace finally inching ahead, but Bunyan not going anywhere, fighting back on the outside. But the advantage that time by the 99 of Ben Wallace. Bunyan slots in behind him as they work their way off of 2, down the backstretch, side by side into 3 again. Bunyan still riding that high lane. Wallace down on the inside. To the line that time by, and Bunyan grabs the lead back to lead his 46th lap of today's race. Wallace digging on that inside. Not able to slot over in front of Bunyan and kill the run just yet. They will be side by side yet again into 3. Wallace with the advantage now. He pulls ahead without any problem. He will take the stripe this time as these two swap the lead back and forth lap after lap. Let's see what Bunyan does. Will he look for a crossover? Goes right behind Ben Wallace, then slots out beside him, down into turn 3, running the high lane again. They're side by side off of 4. The momentum goes to Bunyan. He's going to hit the stripe first this time as we begin lap 96 out of 115 here Only 20 laps left to go. I think 20. Can I count right? Something like that. Yeah. Something like a 20. Somewhere in there. Oh, almost touching on the exit. Your two race leaders putting everything on the line. Almost touching. Battle giving us everything we want to see. Battle just behind these drivers for position as well. Third place, the 004 of Jason Lowe has the 31 of Robert Mitchell all over him. No real other battle, so to speak, on track, as we have only 7 cars on the lead lap. We have about 5 or 6 cars being scored. 1 lap down. The 306 of Will Stearns is 2 laps down. Danny J 3 laps down. And Chad Pierce 13 laps down here today. Bunyan able to root and make his way back to running that inside lane. That puts Wallace back up high. They cross the line with Bunyan leading at the stripe. 48 laps in the book for him. Wallace still hanging tough out there on the outside. While all this is happening, they have managed to keep an 8-second lead over the third place runner, Jason Lowe, at the stripe. Bunyan leads yet again. Wallace not going anywhere. We have got 16 laps left here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Side-by-side racing action since the green flag pit stops for these two IndyCar drivers here in the Sunday Hangover Indycar League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And if this doesn't get your blood going, get you ready on a Sunday morning, I don't know what will. Side by side still, down into turn 3 and 4. Bunyan on the bottom, Wallace up top. Wallace trying to get the momentum built up. Bunyan not able to make the move to the high line to stop the run just yet. They will be side by side back into one again. Still side by side for the race lead, Bunyan and Wallace. Wallace almost into the wall there off of 4. That was a very, very close call. He's able to keep the momentum up, though, and slot up in front of Bunyan, who has now found himself just behind. Going into 3, right on the gearbox, way up high is Bunyan. That's going to allow Wallace to step out to almost a 0.3 of a second race lead. And could that have been the move of the race? Did Ben Wallace just put the move on Bunyan late here in Las Vegas? We'll have to see. There you see him trying to break the draft just a little bit. Bunyan having none of it. Right back on the gearbox of Wallace as they work their way off of 4 to start lap 105. Whoo, man, what a race up front. What a job by these drivers here. Only giving up about a second over the last 10 laps, battling it out side by side and keeping the amazing pace that these drivers have has been absolutely astonishing to watch. Ben Wallace, not only your current race leader, but he does have the fastest lap on track out there today with a 24.637. However, man behind him, Graham Bunyan, he has led the most laps. I believe he's going to clinch that one unless Wallace is able to lead the last 10 laps of this race. I don't think anybody else will be able to even contest either of these drivers for the most laps led award. But, you know, neither of them really care about that. They care about the big one, and that's the trophy you get for winning this race here. Not just the trophy, but the points. Big, big season implications here as we wind down these laps. Now down to 8 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Wallace in first, Graham Bunyan in second, Jason Lowe in third, Robert Mitchell fourth, Will Zoller in fifth, sixth Ryan Bowles in the 25, and in seventh, last car on the lead lap, the 00 of Scott Kirchner. Wallace able to get the job done. So far, 7 laps left to go, but Bunyan still right there, still fighting, still battling for this race lead, this race win, because he knows what it could do, what it could mean for his championship this year. If he were able to win this race here today, that would all but sew it up, all but lock it in place for him, as he has got 0.3 of a second to make up, as Wallace has made that pass way up near the wall, used the momentum to motor on by Bunyan, and hasn't looked back since. Put another lap in the purse for Wallace. 5 laps left to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. 1:15. Once again, want to say thank you to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital for partnering and allowing us to connect with you guys and push your cause out a little bit further in the world. If you can, go ahead, follow the website up there on screen, donate. It doesn't have to be much. It could only be $1. It could be a few pennies if that's all you got, but everything counts, everything helps. Go to a great organization. And I think I'm going to need to go to a hospital after this race, because my heart is absolutely pounding right now. Great race leading to the finish of this thing. Wallace, however, has been able to step away from Bunyan, now opening up almost a 1-second race lead. 2 laps to go, and Wallace is going to be your race winner. Coming around 3 and 4, back to the front stretch. He's going to see the white flag in the air this time. Last lap here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. No troubles or issues through 1 and 2. No lap traffic looming in the way for Ben Wallace, and he's going to come around to 3 and 4 for the last time. No pressure from the back, off of 4 to the line and to the win. Ben Wallace getting the race win, grabbing double points, double race winning points at that. Great finish for him. My goodness. Great job by him and his crew. And we're going to start letting things settle down here and get sorted out. And we will be right back after just a brief moment while we get ready and set up for all of our driver interviews. Thank you once again for joining us here on Next Gen Racing Productions each and every Sunday morning for the Sunday Hangover IndyCar Series. And there you see your race winner, burning it down just a little bit. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. thanks for coming back and joining us for your post-race interviews here. Man, what a great finish. What a great battle between first and second there after the pit stops. And man, it was absolutely just a barn burner. And we're going to see if we can't get a word now with your race winner, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Ben, it's Dave in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, David.
Well, man, I don't know if that could have got any better unless the battle lasted another 5 or 6 laps or so, man. Tell us a little bit about that race.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. We had to really work hard to look after the tyres. You were good with running next to a car for a few laps, but then as soon as you start putting the tyres start getting on, you really needed to make sure you were ahead because you could quite easily pull out a lead. So I needed to, and the first stint, undercut Graham to pull back the kind of couple of second lead he had, and then just try and look after it from there. But obviously you can see Graham undercut me on the second stint, and we had a pretty tough battle for first place, but we both knew how important it needed to be.
Speaking of the importance of this race, double points race, the only double points race of the season, you found yourself a little bit behind after being missing for some real life racing. Then a tough break at Monza with some mechanical issues is what we will chalk it up to. Winning the race here today, double points for it. That's going to go well for your chance at trying to make your way back up to battle Graham as it comes down to Indy. What are your thoughts on all that and how the rest of the season is going to play out?
Yeah, well, firstly, Monza, we should have had, it was 25-second lead, and unfortunately, the force feedback kicked the wheel off the mount, so that's what happened there. Moving on to Graham, we'll take each race as it comes, but it's going to be a tough job trying to catch him. All we can do is just make sure we finish as best we can. Yeah, in racing, I think you need speed, consistency, and a little bit of luck, and we're trying to piece all three together this season.
All right, man. Well, excellent job, man, getting the win here today. Double points race. As I said, that's going to go a long way for your points season standing. So, man, heck of a job. Before we let you get ready to go to Kansas, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody watching or that will watch?
No, just a big shout out and a thank you to the guys who put all the effort in each week organising the events and yourself. And we have great fun, great racing. And as you can see, we have pretty hard battles, but we're all friends, and we all know we can trust each other. We're not going to wipe each other out the game. So yeah, let's just move on to the next one and try and win.
All right, Wayne. Well, great job once again. We will catch up with you next Sunday morning.
Yeah, 10-4. Thanks, David.
There you have it. That was your race winner, the 99 of Ben Wallace, able to try to close some points over the man that actually finished second here today, and that is the 99 of Graham Bunyan. We're going to see if we can grab Graham real quick. Looks like he has made his way up to the booth. So, Graham, man, tell us a little bit about your race out there today.
Tough, very tough. Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that. I really don't. It's just like you get a good run. I knew after about 12 laps or so, I needed to break Ben's draft. So I had to try and chop him and give him some air to push him back a bit. So it was just a matter of working between, I think it was himself and Ryan at the time, just between those two, just moving up and down to sort of push them right back, which I think I did. I pushed them back to about I think it was like about a 3.5 second to 4 second gap. And yeah, Ben pitted early, which I didn't even notice. I was too focused on that white line and just going, but I pitted, and then back out, and I'm like, wow, Ben's like 5 seconds up the road from me. So yeah, that sort of knocked me around a little bit.
Well, the most exciting part of this race, in my opinion, was that last set of green flag pit stops. You guys came back out, rejoined the track pretty much together, 1 lap difference on each other, but right there on each other's gearbox, and battled lap after lap, side by side, all over each other. Was there ever a moment when you thought maybe I should save a little bit and then go fight at the end, or just hammer down?
Yeah, well, it was around about lap 96, I think it was, coming out of turn 4. I got a bit of a shunt down the left-hand side. Just Ben's car come up a bit and a bit of a whack on the left-hand side there. But after that, my car just felt awful. It was absolutely terrible. It was like I either had a bent rear wheel or something. I'll have to have a look at it in the replay. I'm still at the moment, sweating away, but yeah, I'll have to have a look after the replay. But yeah, no, look, I thought after that I'll drop back, just see how we go, and I know there's a good line to get past, but yeah, I just couldn't get the car to turn after that.
Well, man, I hate to keep you sweating away in the car, but you had a chance to almost put it in the bag here today. Fell short just slightly. Walking away with, I mean, second place isn't nothing to hang your head about, but missing out that double points for a race win, that could have put the championship in the bag. Does that make you approach the next 3 weeks any differently?
No, look, we'll just focus on the week at hand, and then just see what it pans out on the day, see what the track throws at us and weather, and all I can do is just drive my hardest and try and keep those guys at the back of me, hopefully. So, I don't know, I feel positive going into the next couple of races, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
All right, Graham. Well, once again, congratulations on yet another great podium finish this year. And before we let you go, get ready for Kansas. You want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, or anything like that?
Yeah, look, mate, I just... like every week, thank everybody for turning up. Seems to be more and more people starting to show up now, which is good. Guys that make this happen without Robert and everybody else turning up each week, this happen. But yeah, look, podium finish. Ben for the win, Jason for the third. Yeah, good overall. Was good.
All right, man. Well, we will let you get on out of here, and we will catch up with you next week.
No worries. Thanks, Dave.
There you have it. That was your second place finisher, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. And now the man coming to the room, coming to the mic, the naked clown himself, the 004 of Jason Lowe. What's going on, partner?
Well, who doesn't love clowns and nudity?
Man, I don't have a clue. I'm trying to go around and get a better shot of your car here, and my camera's just not cooperating. Gosh darn it. So, we'll use that one. There you go. I like that one. There we go. So how you doing, man? How was the race for you?
I was real happy with the race. The guys in the room are having to listen to me talk because I've got my button mapped to both you and iRacing at the same time. So sorry about that, guys. Once again, the Hangover League provided a great setup for all of us. Very competitive racing. Of course, the talent was at the top as far as the top two. I'm flattered to be on the podium with them. But, I mean, there's about 5 or 6 other guys who could have been third or second, just the way it, shook out. Robert and I had a great battle both early and late in the race, and feel real fortunate to put it on the podium again. I'm still learning, but happy to be here.
Well, man, excellent job. I mean, it is a double points race here today, so still finishing in the podium position. That's still going to do wonders and give your season standings maybe a shot. Maybe you have a chance to get up there and battle with Robert Mitchell for that position in the standings. So great job today. What's your thoughts going into next week or even further, that open setup race at Texas?
Really looking forward to the open setup race at Texas. I very much like to be able to adjust my car during these races, and I feel that I've done some open races and I've had some good success. I've been working on my Texas setup just for that race, so that's definitely big on my radar. I haven't put a win up yet this year, and I don't want to end the year without a win. So I'm going to put a lot of effort into it and just do my best.
All right, Jason. Well, once again, congratulations, top 3, finishing on the podium here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Well, as always, thanks to Robert for hosting the league and all the other drivers in the league. Congratulations to the podium, and thanks to my wife Tiffany for letting me do this with total support. And thank you for the broadcast, as always.
10-4, bud. Well, I thank y'all for putting on a great show week in and week out, and Jason, we will catch up with you next week.
Have a great one.
There you go. That was your third place finisher. There you see him sitting in that naked clown Indy car. As he said, who doesn't like clowns and nudity? So, I mean, hey, I guess so. I don't know. I'm not gonna fault him or judge him. That's it is what it is. Great race here today for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital 115. And man, what can I say other than some great racing action? I mean, green flag from the drop of the green flag here today. Lap after lap, these drivers put on an absolute show for the fans. If you haven't already, go on over there and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, do that. Smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live so you can see these drivers right here each and every Sunday morning here on Next Gen Racing Productions. And as we wind things down here tonight, or this morning, I should say, we're going to go ahead and run through your race results for you. Ben Wallace in the 99, able to walk away with the win today. The 101 of Graham Bunyan slotted in second, finishing out the podium positions. The 00 of Jason Lowe. 004, I apologize, Jason. 004 of Jason Lowe, fourth position. The 31 of Robert Mitchell, rounding out your top 5. The 67 of Will Zoller. Sixth spot goes to the 25 of Ryan Bowles, while the 00 of Scott Kirchner found himself finishing in 7th, the last car on the lead lap. 8th spot goes to the 6 of Jeff Murray, and the 13 of Howard Livingston in 9th. 10th spot goes to the 24 of Rick Kelball, and the 64 of Rick Lovison is in 11th. 12th position to the 07 of David Zaleski. 13th, the 10 of Mike West. 14th, the 306 of Will Stearns. And the 15 of Danny J in 15th. And rounding out your race here today, the 19 of Chad Pierce in the 16th spot. So that pretty much says it all. Not anything left to do for us here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And once again, thank you guys for joining us. Look forward to seeing you later on this evening as we go back live with some K&N action here on Next Gen Racing Productions. Great job. Hats off Robert Mitchell. Hats off Jason Lowe, Graham Bunyan, Ben Wallace, all of the drivers out there on track here today. Yet another race in the book with no cautions. Just let you know how good these Sunday Hangover IndyCar League drivers are. My man, great job. We'll see you later.
coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was going to draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.